As the rivalry intensified, off-field shenanigans became a tradition of their own.
Shenanigans were definitely something to look forward to every year. We would always plan that
night before,
way ahead of time. yeah, that was. I think a lot of people look forward to that almost as much as the game.
Eggs, anything like that.
Yeah.
Spray paint.
But yes, there was some other stuff. A lot of other stuff.
Over time, it seemed to some these shenanigans were detracting from the game as a whole.
The series became known for some extracurricular activity off the field, which I call hooliganism. And both sides were responsible. It's not just one school, not just one school exclusively. But a lot of activity that had nothing to do with the ball playing, and certainly didn't enhance the status of either school.
Goofing off and what was supposed to be building your own team up got carried away a little too far. Both schools, it happened all the time, but it ended up getting too carried away.
We would have played it every year. It just got out of hand, but it wasn't the athletes that caused this rivalry to go down the drain. It was it was people that weren't in school and people that were in school that weren't playing. There was always nothing but a lot of admiration and respect on the field on both sides of the ball when we played.
Well, me and him were assistant coaches, and we're not always privy to all the whys and why nots. You just coach and do your job and teach. And I think the reason given at the time was there's too much stuff happening during the week before the game, painting and vandalism.
Out of the school system.
Yeah, outside the school system. There was too much of that going on, they felt like. Okay, so that was the reason we were given.
In 1996, one of these shenanigans included the killing of a German Shepherd dog by Lakeside students, an act that was retaliated against a year later by Lake Hamilton students.
Well, an incident where there was a goat was killed and painted, which was my senior year of high school, was probably the straw that broke the camel's back.
Walston's assumptions were probably correct, as just 2 years later, Lakeside and Lake Hamilton would meet for the final time. In the following years, people would wonder if the shenanigans were the entire cause of the rivalry's cancellation.
You could easily point to that being the cause, but I think really the cause was, you got to win back and forth for it to be a rivalry.
It was just the lopsided nature of the game. I think Lakeside, they quit playing us. We didn't. It wasn't a mutual thing. They just dropped us from their schedule, and I can understand that because we were a bigger school and they had trouble competing with us. So I don't blame them for doing that. But no, when we quit playing is because Lakeside actually dropped us from their schedule.
There were some bad things that happened, or things that you see as a rivalry, but you have that statewide. You'll have people stealing a rock in Murfreesboro. Pocahontas, I believe, Pocahontas Walnut Ridge played, and they had a bell, and they would vandalize each other's field and steal things. Those are things that happened at Lakeside and Lake Hamilton rivalry, and that's what makes a rivalry game.
Others have taken neutral positions on the topic.
There's several reasons it stopped, but I'd be stepping on toes if I told the truth right now. So I'm just going to plead the fifth because it wouldn't make any difference it wouldn't make any difference.
Regardless, the players and coaches from both sides would have to move on with their programs.
That's probably over our head.
Yeah, like I say, that's the administrators. They're the ones that made that decision.
They make that decision, you know.
Yeah,
the
we
school
just do
boards.
whatever they tell us to do. That's our job.
That's right.
So, you know.
We can find another game to
And
play.
we're-
Sounds that one.
That's right. You know, life goes on.
For nearly 2 decades, fans would desire just one more matchup between the two squads. 19 years after their last matchup, they are finally receiving the revival they have been asking for.